Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Claire Sierra. I'm the author of The Magdalene Path, Awaken the Power of Your Feminine Soul. And if you're not familiar with me, you might not know I have a connection with Mary Magdalene that began in 2000. And in 2010, I downloaded the material that became the Magdalene Path book. 2014, I published this book. Through having an awake, alive connection with Mary Magdalene that I used writing to receive her messages about her life. I was given the guidance to connect with her and tell the untold stories of her life so that it would support women in the awakening of the divine feminine. And that's what this is about. But just because the book is published doesn't mean the messages are done. And I have been receiving messages from her since. And I got one today that I wanted to share with you. I receive these messages all the time, and I don't always think to turn on the video and do that. But today was the rosary. We get together once a month on the 22nd to pray and meditate, connect with Mary Magdalene, and pray a version of the rosary that is said to her and with her. And so we did that today, and in anticipation of that, and because it's equinox, spring equinox, which is like all about the balance of light and dark and the emergence in the northern hemisphere of spring and emergence. There's a lot going on astrologically that I'm not going to get into, but that is part of why we're feeling these great awakenings. And also, it's time, right? I mean, we know that this is what needs to happen in order for things to shift. So in preparation for this, I asked if there was a message, and this is what I received, and I thought I'd make a little video for you of that. So pardon me while I look at my notes, because I'm going to be reading this to you. And this is Magdalene speaking to us, all of us, not just me. The energy builds 3 days before, then peaks and dissipates for 3 days since. Equinox and solstices are moments in time occurrences, but not singularity events. In other words, what you're experiencing over time and this weekend and the next few days are still part of your equinoxial experience, separate from the lunar aspect of full and new moon. There are several astronomical occurrences which are supercharging this moment. The much discussed turn to 0 degrees Aries by Neptune and Saturn, and then now the Sun, plus Mercury changing directions, solar messages in energy, flares and sunspots. All of these point to energetics you are already feeling, but now they can be named, claimed, and felt. Shifts in consciousness and lifestyle are here and waiting to become owned and acted upon. Shifts in consciousness and life are here and waiting to be owned and acted upon. You are already feeling the rebirth, are you not? And while many things in the outer world tilt and wobble, there is increasing peace, calm, and clarity within. Even if unnamed or unspoken, there is a greater sense of cosmic settling, which sensitives, such as yourselves, feel. Simultaneously, there is a loss of urgency, a sense of knowing all is well, even if the outer circumstances do not line up as examples. You are feeling the shift. And you're feeling this shift within. And this is where it must come from. For the outer is merely a reflection of the inner. You know this already. Saints and sages have said as much for millennia. But now you have evidence, embodied. What you hold inside reveals outside. This is what we sow, we reap means. When you plant seeds of calm, peace, ease, and joy, you will see evidence of same. The turmoil of the outer world and all its political and social unrest merely shows personal, collective balances, imbalances. The outer reflects the inner. Quote, as above, so below, End quote. The ancient mystical teaching through the ages reminds that when we tend the inner, the outer can only follow. This is metaphysical practice. Yet you live in a culture obsessed with managing the outer, moving deck chairs, rearranging, controlling, in a frantic and ill-fated attempt to manage what is felt inside. Why not go directly there? Feed the demons, soothe the source. Untangle the knots and weave beautiful tapestry of heart and soul. You can. This you have been attending to, and those of you who have are feeling the benefits now. Those obsessed with the fear narrative, the war stories, and political machinations will only feel more distress until they too turn within. Soothe the beasts within, and they are tamed and befriended. Tigers become lap kittens. It's simple, but not always easy. Attend the inner, enjoy the outer. Simple, ancient truth. Blessed be.